The unwavering Disney fans were fine when the company was destroying Splash Mountain, the most popular attraction on the planet, in order to replace it with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Virtue signaling, you see, is A-OK. Now, things are turned on their head, as Disney perhaps is looking at destroying the Muppets. Muppet Vision 3D to be destroyed for Monsters, Inc. Well, now the Pixie Dusters even are angry, and Disney has a very strange situation on their hands. Hello, folks. Welcome back. We are happy as ever to have you with us. We value your time. We know you do as well. And our desire every single day is to be that value add that you need. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve is the job that we do. And the only thing we ask of you is to click that like button. Now, you did indeed hear it right. It looks like there is a chance that Muppet Vision 3D could be destroyed. It's the last true work of Jim Henson, a legacy item, and perhaps as important to the Disney company and the Disney parks as something like It's a Small World. It's that iconic. But the House of Mouse is ready to destroy anything and everything that they deem worthy of destruction. They have no idea how to build, only how to destroy and replace with things that are simply nowhere close to the same ace they had up their sleeve. Now, even those who have defended Disney at every single point in the past are angry. Today we'll tell you why it's not easy being green, and Disney still seems dead set on being mean. This is out of the Wrap, and says, as Disney tips shuttering Muppet Vision 3D, fans decry devastating move. This is one of the first times, by the way, that I've seen the Pixie Dusters actually moved to go against Disney, so that tells you how bad this is. The closing of the Hollywood Studios attraction, Jim Henson's final performance, was nearly announced at D23 before last-minute change. The Wrap learns. This is by Drew Taylor, who is no fan of us, but we call balls and strikes, so we'll report on anything as long as it's truthful. It is indeed truthful that Muppet Vision 3D is the last performance that Jim Henson gave. It is a tribute to Jim that lives on at Hollywood Studios and has since it was brought into the parks with his passing. It is where you can still go every day and see him perform Kermit the Frog. The man who took over, Steve Whitmire, Kermit the Frog plays Bean Bunny in that performance. That he's also gone from Disney. But it's a place where you can go and you can hear the original voices of Statler and Waldorf. You can hear Frank Oz playing these characters. In other words, it's the last pre-Disney Muppets that Disney allows to be seen. And apparently that's obscene to Disney. That's why this is on par with destroying Pirates of the Caribbean or It's a Small World. This is the legacy of Jim Henson.
It is.
The article says, mere hours after Disney Experiences held its showcase at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, and touted major and exciting new film, TV, and park projects at D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, it appears one fan favorite attraction could be closing for good. Walt Disney Imagineering, the secretive arm of the Walt Disney Company responsible for the theme parks, has only a few weeks to decide whether to keep Muppet Vision 3D or to shut it down. I guarantee you they've already decided. But they can, listen, Disney, if they're not in total freak-out mode right now behind the scenes at the C-suite, they should be. And Disney, I guarantee you, I will be on to you for every year and the full continuance of this channel, and I plan to go at least another 50. I will be in your ear telling everyone what you do if you take down places like Muppet Vision. The original attraction opened in 1991, exactly a year after Jim Henson's tragic death, and has since become something of an institution. The film itself is a hilarious trip to the Muppet Labs. You get the idea. During the D23 showcase, artwork for a proposed Monsters, Inc. themed land was shown that would feature a coaster themed to the door chase from the first movie, along with the monster-fied shopping and dining locations, and be housed within Disney's Hollywood Studios. Goes on to talk about all of this. I want to show everybody what their plan is, okay? Here's the plan. Now, apologies for Google Maps not being updated. Galaxy's Edge is back here still under construction. All right, here's Hollywood Studios. Here is the Muppet Land. Now, the Muppet area, which could be plussed and made beautiful, this warehouse that was retail, they could put something in there that would be phenomenal. Imagine if they put in a museum of some sort where you could go see some of the original puppets from the Muppets. Imagine if they had perhaps the Electric Mayhem in there playing with animatronics. Imagine what fun you could have. This is also the location that has Pizza Rizzo here, which is, it's okay. But it also has Mama Melrose's back here, and I would argue that Mama Melrose's is probably the best sit-down restaurant at Hollywood Studios. Please don't tell anyone, because I still enjoy being able to go over there and people falling for the other places. Anyway, this is where apparently they want to put in the Monsters, Inc. And let me show you why. Let me show you why, folks. The reason they want to put in the Monsters area here is because there's this sliver of remaining Streets of America that they didn't destroy. And somebody in Imagineering and somebody at the C-suite was so utterly bereft of intelligence and stupid that they looked at that and said, oh, we could use that for like Monstropolis. Look, it kind of looks like Monstropolis. And that was the level of intelligence that went into this. What do we stand to lose? Well, the testament to Jim Henson right there. But also, there is a rumor, strong rumor, that Star Tours could be taken out as well.
Boo.
And I tend to think that they might have to do it. Now, I want to show you quickly how unnecessary this is. If we go between Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular and Star Tours, you will see the Backlot Express. It's a fine little restaurant, but that's all that it is. I have some nostalgia for some of the things on the walls in there, but other than that, it could be taken out with very little problem. If you take it out and you build a walkway through here between Star Tours and Indiana Jones, and you theme it so that everybody feels like they're going into Monstropolis, you can detour to the right here and get around what I believe is one of the parade float buildings. I think this is costuming over here, and I want to show you this. This slot right here was where the parking garage was supposed to go when they were originally developing Star Tours. You can build out into this area, and not only would you build out in this area and provide space and new footprint space for Hollywood Studios, but you would block the view into cast member parking. And you could also then use cast member parking as a way for cast members to enter over here that they currently don't have, because cast members have to walk all the way to the entrance, which I think is damaging to the show. But you could do that.
Here's a question I've always had. Why does Disney refuse to go multi-level with parking at this point? I feel like, space is not at a premium, but they act like
they're broke.
Space is at a premium here. But if they go vertical with parking like Universal Studios does, they could have
Disneyland?
so much more.
Well, let me show you this.
There is a parking garage.
Get your take. Guys, let me
There's
tell
a
you
parking
this.
garage there.
Oh, yeah, it's on the backside of animation. This parking lot, I don't care how full the park is, it's never used down in here. And you know why?
Yeah.
Because this parking lot is bigger than the park. There is more real estate that is parking lot than exists in this park. You cannot use all of this parking lot. And the reason that is because they originally were going to put the Star Wars land over here, and when they decided not to, they had already done all of the earthwork, and so instead, they just paved it all. And now we have a parking lot that is literally too big for the theme park, and they won't expand the theme park because they don't want to mess with a parking lot that they can't use. And instead, they're going to destroy the last remaining legacy to George Lucas and to Jim Henson in one fell swoop and pretend that we're going to like it. And these freaking cowards make this announcement at D23 without saying, oh, by the way, we're going to destroy Jim Henson and George Lucas while we do this, because they're freaking cultural arsonists and cowards at the same time. Fire Josh D'Amaro.
At least we're getting a male Ariel. Maybe.
Good Lord.
Look, I, for one, when I heard the announcement, was overjoyed because as a monster, finally, I'll be able to see myself in the theme parks. And really, that's what matters more than anything else.
Monsters represent.
However, Pro, I am a monster second and a puppet first. And as I said yesterday on that podcast, I will be gosh darned, Jonas.
Well, that gives you something in common with Josh D'Amaro, then.
Yes. If I am to see the last remnant of Jim Henson's legacy be destroyed by these cultural vandals, I do not want to see that happen. When I was a kid, I called the space between Star Tours and the Muppets my corner of the sky, because I was like, I can't believe there's a place with Star Wars and the Muppets, the two things that I love the most in all the world, within walking distance of each other. It is my favorite area in all of Walt Disney World, and probably my favorite area in the entire world in general. To walk into the Muppet Show Theater, to be immersed in the final work of this brilliant man, probably the closest thing to Walt Disney that's ever existed, is Jim Henson. He was a absolute genius, my personal hero. But when you look at the way they've treated his legacy already, his right-hand man, Frank Oz, forced out of the Muppets because he won't play along with the things that they say. He did an interview a couple of years ago where he said, they don't want me because I won't do the Muppets that they want to do, and I push back.
Hey, Marvin, how sinister is it that they announced this but didn't announce it on the same weekend they gave Frank Oz a Legend Award, and the same weekend that Frank Oz did not get to reprise Miss Piggy performed by someone else?
100%.
How sinister?
100%. Yeah, and Jim Henson's handpicked successor, Steve Whitmire. They ousted him and gave him the Disney treatment of bashing him on the way out. They had Brian Henson rip him to shreds. You know, it's they have no respect for Jim Henson. They have no respect for the Muppets. They don't know what to do with them. And this is the last Muppet thing they have that works. They've already ripped it out of Disneyland. To see them rip it out of Walt Disney World would be the biggest travesty. This, to me, I mean, look, I get the Rivers of America being bulldozed is a much bigger deal, but in general, but for me personally, this is the big one. This is the thing where I'm like, I'm going to tear up my annual pass.
And not even, and just to kind of add to what Marvin was saying, for me, first of all, again, like closest thing to Walt Disney, Jim Henson. My parents couldn't afford to send me to preschool. So you know how I learned all that stuff, numbers, letters, all that? Sesame Street. So Jim Henson is a huge icon to me. When you go into Muppet Vision, it's like reliving the Muppet Show all over again. The setting, you know, the zany sight gags, just the interactions with the characters, Statler and Waldorf roasting everybody from up there. But also when you go and you enter into the waiting area for Muppet Vision, and you look at all the sight gags, look straight up, and there is this huge picture of Jim Henson as a Muppet. Oh, yeah. And I can't tell you what that just, I don't know, that just makes me feel so good every time I see that. And it's not just the adults who grew up watching Sesame Street and grew up watching the Muppets. The kids are cracking up at the jokes that are going on. And they understand it and they get it. And it's such a generational thing to see. Like these young kids love that, you know, that love it too.
Lorena, but they're having to spend money on Sweetums, right? They don't have to pay somebody to play Sweetums. That's expensive. Let's put a roller coaster there instead.
It's and just to add to
I
that,
will play
it's
Sweetums
bad enough they
free.
got rid. But think about it. They got rid of the best gift shop ever, which was that area right next to that. They wiped out that whole thing.
And Lorena, I will add that gift shop does have those some kind of museum elements, like what Pro was talking about. The Happiness Hotel set is in there. The lockers from Muppets Take Manhattan are in there, and you can't get to them anymore.
Yeah, they're gonna trash all that. You think they're going to save that? No, they're going to trash it. By the way, one of the great things you can do at Hollywood Studios is cross over into this area that's the extended queue for Muppets. You will find unique posters and a soundtrack that continues to play that you will hear nowhere else, with music by the Muppets that you will hear nowhere else. It's like going back into a time machine back here in this under this little awning. It's a beautiful, wonderful place. Highly recommend it. But let's talk about the Star Tours aspect, because we have been hearing the potential that this will also knock out Star Tours, and now we will just get Galaxy's Edge as the Star Wars land. Star Tours is over here on an island by itself. Yeah. They might want to take that out. So are we getting a Jim and George destruction in one go?
I literally have a Trials of the Jedi Temple pin in my hands as you're talking about this right here. This yet again, another amazing memory that I have with my kids is all of them doing this when they were at the age where it was just magical. I mean, okay, so for those of you who don't know, Trials of the Jedi Temple, which is temporarily closed or whatever, as they say on Google Earth, it's not coming back, was a makeshift thing to have kids come up and they can do lightsabers and they'll bring out Darth Vader or Kylo Ren. Anyways, my kids.
Wait a minute, Jonas. They might bring it back. They can be witches and they can pull on the thread.
Right, exactly.
Oh, no.
I'll just say one of my kids got into it in a big way, and I'm not sure if he fully understood that it wasn't real. Then he goes on Star Tours immediately after, and he is telling the ride operators about how he destroyed the dark side completely. I love it. And then, of course, he was the rebel spy. These are the kind of things that this company does not do,
and they have
the way that
the
they
land
used to do.
They have the land. They don't have to do any of this. They have the land to expand. They are choosing to destroy things that people love. And for the people who say, it's just like Tom Sawyer Island, Muppet Vision is empty half the time. It's on a third full. Muppet Vision on a crowded day is one of your absolute best ways of handling a crowded Hollywood studios.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You want to know? You want to know
Absolutely.
the capacity throughput of Muppet Vision versus a vertical hanging single train, single vehicle, or excuse me, not a single train, single car per train roller coaster? You want to figure that one out? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it is going to be a dramatic drop in capacity. So you're going to lose. You lose capacity.
Star Tours isn't a slouch either. It has 6 star speeders as opposed to Disneyland's 4. There's almost no line. And it's a great promotional piece for not only Star Wars of yore, but also Star Wars upcoming. As far as advertisement for the company's products, I don't think you could have a better platform than that to get rid of not 1 but 2 beloved attractions for 1 coaster in a park that is desperate in need of expansion.
It's also a great ride.
Absolutely bizarre.
Well,
it's a great ride compared to Smuggler's Run, which is total crap.
Well, I know what they can do, though, guys.
You and a great
Guys, I know
queue
what
as
they can
well
do.
when you go in there.
Let's take the simulators out of Star Tours before they destroy it. Let's put them over there in the Body Wars location with Wonders of Life that they're not using, and we'll turn it into an acolyte ride.
Perfect.
A testament of the popularity of modern Disney.
Well, here's my thing, though, that gave me pause, because they just spent a lot of money on the Muppet Theater. They just replaced all the chairs. They just added new effects to the show. Historically, that's not something Disney does when something's on the bubble. We saw the way they let Splash Mountain deteriorate before they replaced it.
But
So
Marvin, what if they
it's
turn
still
this into
deteriorating.
Monsters Laugh Floor?
no,
Oh no!
Oh,
no.
Folks, we've come to the end of yet another video of excellence. Want to thank everyone who was on the panel today. What a fantastic job weighing in on exactly what is weighing down the hopes and dreams of so many, and perhaps tanking the Disney stock even further. Listen, I can't believe they have not done something to fix this yet. It's amazing. They continue to make stupid decision after stupid decision. I don't understand when they're going to get rid of the people who make these kinds of calls. They're insane. Anyway, folks, one thing that would be insanely good is if you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, we're going to miss you until we see you again. But worry not yet, for more content is on the way 3 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.